Good morning, guys. Welcome to the second workshop. Today we're going to be focusing on the skill match your energy intake to the needs and goals. So let's dive in. Okay, so we take energy in from food and drink and we lose energy from movement. Depending on what your goals are, this is a really important concept to how much we eat and how much we move to get to your goals. So like I was saying, we get energy from our food and we expend energy when we move and stay alive. This fundamental relationship between energy in and energy out is known as energy balance. And this is a really important concept when it comes to nutrition, and especially when it comes to dieting as well. What is energy balance? So I've had a lot of people ask me, how much should I eat to gain muscle? How much should I exercise to lose weight? And can I lose weight and gain muscle at the same time? These questions all relate to energy balance. So what is energy balance? Energy balance is a fundamental law of thermodynamics. So that means energy can't be created or destroyed, only transferred. That means if we take in more energy than we use, we gain weight. If we take in less energy than we use, we lose weight. And if we take the same amount of energy that we use in, we stay the same. So maintaining that same weight, maintaining your weight. This is true regardless of any portion breakdown or any macro breakdown or any diets whatsoever. Okay, so there's some of you in this challenge who need to adjust their energy balance, either to gain mass or lose mass. You'll notice that most of the recommendations that we talk about today are going to be very practical. For the guys who want to lose weight, unless you're going from sitting on your butt all day to doing extreme exercises every single day, you will usually have to eat less in order to create a significant energy deficiency. So like I was saying before, if we constantly training more and burning more energy than we eat, then we're gonna be in that energy deficiency. Yeah? Okay, so here are some of my favorite strategies that you can do, instead of calorie counting to lose weight. So one, you can eat slowly and mindfully. This will help your body be more aware of your intake and often helps you eat less. Eat till you are 80% full. So just till you're satisfied, not till you're stuffed or feeling full. And eat whole foods and not processed foods. So eating foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, and legumes. Okay, and obviously a really important one as well is practicing good quality sleep hygiene. So making sure that you sleep good is gonna help with your appetite and help with your hunger and help more with your fullness cues, because you'll feel a bit more calmer and more able to make wiser decisions. Because I know when you're hungry, we get hangry and we make silly decisions. So making sure we sleep good so we feel calmer and we'll be able to make better decisions. Okay, for the guys who are looking to gain muscle or to do what we call, so we were talking about energy deficient before, now we want to talk about energy surplus. So this basically means eating more energy than we need to be able to gain weight. So some of the strategies, just like with the weight loss one, is eat 120% full. So a lot of you guys are saying, oh man, I'm eating heaps. But what we really want to do is we want to make sure we're stuffed. We're feeling like we're pushing really good. So we're really getting really nice and full and then eating a little bit more, just so we can make sure that, we are 120% full. Another one is eating quickly. This will help you eat more, because it's like you're eating too quick before your body decides you're full. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you eat heaps, so you're beating that fullness cue. You're sort of like yep, and then by the time you're just feeling stuffed and 120% full. Boom. And there's obviously a lot more strategies than that, but that's just a few strategies that I think will help you guys, especially when we're coming into this coming into this 4th week, and we're going to be obviously creating a lot more volume when it comes to working out. Okay, so like I was saying before, this skill is called this skill is called match your energy intake to the needs of your goals. So this is a really important skill, and probably one of the most important skills after plan, preparation, and prioritize. So remember, in order to master a skill, we have to have practices and we have to make daily actions. So, like we were talking last time, what are some possible practices that we can do to match our energy intake to our goals? Well, one of the practices is monitor and adjust energy balance as needed. So a possible action for monitor and adjust energy balance is we can use hand portions to build meals and menus. Hand portion templates, like the hand portion template, is one of the best go-to strategies you can use because it's portable and unique to each individual. So you know, your hand, my hand's my size, your hand might be a little bit more size, and it's usually, you know, guys who are bigger usually have bigger hands, and guys who are smaller usually have smaller hands. Obviously, there's some of you that might have bigger hands if you're smaller, but that doesn't really matter. It's unique to you, yeah? So why this? Because a palm determines protein, right? And a fist determines the portion of non-starchy vegetables. A cupped hand determines your carb portions, and your thumb determines your fat. Quite simple. Obviously, if you're missing a thumb or if you're missing some fingers, it can be a little bit different, but you get the gist of the idea. So the average portion for an active man, basically translated into a daily intake, is about 6 to 8 protein dense foods. So it's 6 protein portions right there. So 6 palmfuls, 6 to 8 fists of non-starchy vegetables. So starchy vegetables would be like carrots, potatoes, things like that, kind of, starchy kind of vegetables. 6 to 8 cups, handfuls of carbs dense foods is the portion daily intake, and 6 to 8 fat dense foods for our thumb. So 6 to 8 thumb sizes, and this all basically provides about 2,300 to 3,100 calories a day. So this is 180 to 245 grams of protein, 205 to 270 grams of carbs, and 85 to 115 grams of fats. Okay, so we talked a little bit on fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. So what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are a large, diverse family of molecules that make up food that we eat, that we can divide into 3 main groups: our proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Every single food that we eat, or like a vegetable, meat, anything that we eat, are somehow divided into these 3 macronutrients. So let's break these down. Let's start with proteins. So what are proteins? Proteins are crucial physiological molecules involved in nearly every process that happens in our bodies. That's why they're so important. They help with cellular metabolism, sending messages within cells, and enabling chemical reactions and creating structures. Okay, why are proteins so important? Everyone's like, protein, gotta get that protein in. So why is it important? Protein is important because protein makes up much of our body's tissue, such as muscles, connective tissue, skin, nails, hair, bone, immune system, and many of our hormones. Our bodies are always building up proteins, aka protein synthesis, and breaking down proteins. So this process is known as protein turnover, and you've probably heard me talk about it. Because proteins have many important jobs, they're always being deconstructed, so when we're working out, and reconstructed. Because remember, we can only transfer energy. So that's why we really need to eat consistent amount of protein to live and thrive. Because protein is working in our body. When we're breaking it down, we've got to build back up. Okay, what are carbs? Skipping all the science stuff, because I don't feel like you need to know all that. but I will put it in the PDF so you can have it. Basically, what we need to know about carbs is that the structure of the molecules in carbs can affect how quickly we digest them. So for instance, you've probably heard the term simple carbs, which are quickly digested, so give us quick energy. And we've got other carbs like starches and fibers that digest more slowly. That's why we say that before we work out, we should always have a simple carb, because we're going to get that energy quicker than starchy carbs that will slowly build energy, which is really good for nutrition. But when it comes to getting energy fast, simple carbs is the way to go. So why are carbs so important? Obviously, along with making various structures and substances in our body, the main job of carbohydrates is to provide energy. Did you know that our brain is the most energy greedy of all organs, consumes about 20% of our total daily resting energy expenditure, and it prefers energy source is glucose. So glucose meaning carbs. Why it's so important, because our brain needs that glucose that we get from carbs to really be able to make sure we're getting in our carbs, so we can have that energy and we can have that brain power to push for our workouts and obviously push for our daily work and activities. Let's talk about fats. Okay, I'm not going to go too much into detail about what fats are, but we're going to talk about why fats are important. Fats have many jobs in our body. For instance, as a part of our body fats offer energy storage, padding for internal organs, and insulation. So for instance, like if you talk about visceral fat, which is one of the measurements that we take on the scale, this is the fat around the organs. Obviously, we don't want to have too much fat around the organs, but it's really good for padding around the organs because they keep them safe. It's the most energy dense macronutrient. So for instance, if you want quick energy, fats is a really good one to have as well. So having some nuts, having some, chucking some seeds and stuff will just help boost that energy. And when we want to get fast energy, having those fats, putting those oils in, those coconut oils and olive oil is really going to help boost that energy. It forms our cell membranes. It forms our brains and nervous system as well. And it helps support fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. It gives us 2 essential fatty acids that we need for health. Moving on. So obviously we were talking about hand portion size before, and then we went into a bit of the macronutrients. But now we want to talk about another possible action we can do for monitoring and adjusting our energy balance. So a really good one that we will be focusing on in the following weeks is using plate templates. So this will help us visualize and build a plate and allocate the portions we need when eating. Why will we use this action? To eat more, you use a bigger plate, obviously. To eat less, you use a smaller plate. To adjust portions based on energy needs, easy to plan meals, and based on macros. Okay, woo! Now it's your turn. So weekly assignments. First, create your own grocery list using the shopping list that I provide. So I'll provide a fats shopping list, a carb shopping list, and a protein shopping list. And this is really important when building your own meals. On that note, the second one is we want to create your own meal plan with the worksheets again I'll provide and I'll upload them on the Facebook page. So make sure you're looking out for those. Really important one, thirdly, is track your portions this week using the portion sheet. Consistency is key. Remember, if proteins, carbs, and fats are important and energy balance as well, your goals, we want to make sure that we're meeting your fat, your carb, and your protein portion sizes, especially when it comes to losing weight or really trying to build some muscle, yeah? Really important to make sure we start tracking it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to print out, I'm going to send out the nutrition daily sheet, and we actually want to start tracking what we're eating, even if you're writing that down or you're just ticking it off on the nutrition blueprint that you have. And the other weekly assignment is we need to upload all sheets that are completed on the Facebook page. So for instance, once I send all the sheets out, I want you to complete it, your meal plan, your grocery list, and your tracking sheet. It all needs to be uploaded for you. And again, it's all about accountability. You really need to upload those and really start jumping out of that comfort zone and actually doing the work. Yeah, we're doing the work in the gym. That's great. I want to see some work done at home, and I want to see some work done with these workshops. Okay. And the last thing is start a food journal and write down everything you eat. Keep yourself accountable, or you can even show me as well. But it's really important to write down everything you eat, because when we guess all the time, oh, we had this, had that, we're always, just like when it comes to weight training, we have to track everything. Because if we don't track it, we're just guessing the next week, or we're saying, yeah, I ate enough protein. But when you write it down and you're ticking it, you'll probably notice that you're not eating enough protein. You're probably not having enough carbs to gain weight or to lose weight. Remember, energy balance is really important, probably one of the most important things when it comes to nutrition. Awesome, guys. You have a great week. I'll probably see you in the gym. I mean, if you haven't yet, book your personal training session and get that done.